Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus.
What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 202.
It's wild. It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. And that's right. That wasn't Dan's voice because he would have been doing this part already. That's Live Open Mike here this week. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me back. I guess I'm doing something right. You keep having me back on when Dan's not here.
Listen, we got to keep these, these consistent numbers. 202. We're trying to get to 203, really, because we just take it week to week. But
keep it rolling, man. No, it's got to be 1,000. Got to get to 1,000.
But this week, Mike's here to talk some Quest games. We got into the Forefront Alpha together, and then some couple very Samson news stories to be awesome. Awesome. We will be awesome, but to be honest. But first, let's get to some housekeeping because this week, Mike, you're in it. You're in the Live Open Mic Discord, but you're also in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord. And come on down to great conversation. This week I shared a picture of my peach tree. We got a lot of peaches here. You're from the peach state though.
Which is odd because I'm not the biggest peach fan. I like peaches, but I don't love them. But yeah, there's tons of peach trees now here.
You know what? That's fair. Yeah. It's a good fruit. It's definitely not my favorite fruit.
Yeah, Georgia's more known for the fact that Atlanta has about 90 million streets named Peachtree. There's Road, Street, Avenue, Battle, Parkway, Pikeway, Boulevard. It's nuts.
That sounds like a nightmare for
it is
drivers. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So down in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, we do talk a lot of VR, but as much like me and this podcast, there are a lot of tangents. And
the tangents are the best part, though. If it was just gaming talk, it'd be boring.
That's fair. That's why people come here for the tangents. Really, The news is just sort of a perk of what we offer. But also people come to us for the Walkabout. Because every week in our Let's Talk Oculus Discord, we play Walkabout together on Thursday nights. Night might be changing, but for right now, it's Thursday nights. Mm-hmm. And also, Mike, I don't think you've submitted one. Fair enough. I don't know that Walkabout's really your thing, but Healing Entree hosts he's continued our Walkabout tournament. I think we're in season 10. It's crazy stuff. Did not think it would make it this far. Mm-hmm. And this season 10, he's running through every single course. 9 whole. Normally it's one course, one easy, one hard.
Right.
Now he's doing front 9, back 9s to squeeze in all of them.
Just get them all in. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. He hasn't announced this week's courses yet, so I won't announce them here. But you can come on down to the Discord, check out our Walkabout channel, and everything is there.
At the last DLC, Tokyo, I thought is probably the best one they put out all year. I was a big Elvis fan until this one. This was my new number one.
Are you generally a big Elvis fan? The music, all
Not
that?
Particularly. I just thought it was really well done, and all the little touches and things they put into that. If you know any kind of Elvis background, he was oh, there's that, oh, there's that, oh, there's that. So yeah, I thought it was really cool. But Tokyo was terrific, though. Tokyo was terrific, though. It was amazing.
Yeah, Tokyo. It really felt. I've never been there. But it felt like what I imagine it would feel like to be there, which is almost better.
Yeah. And I love the fact that they do so much stuff that's off the beaten path.
To explore,
just follow the path of, and encourage you to explore and look around. It's great. It's a great course. So you haven't played it yet, please play it. It's awesome.
At first, I'll be honest, I was a little put off by the cats with the thick black outline. I forget what the brand is. But now I've played it enough times where they just sort of blend into me. They now belong. They now belong.
Yeah.
But yeah, Walkabout Tokyo, great. We probably got 1 or 2 more courses this year.
They said about every 6 weeks. That's been about their cadence. Yeah. So we're on number 5? I lost count.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Elvis, Raptor Cliffs, Crystal Lair, excuse me, Tokyo. I'm blanking on one. Was Venice this year? Or was Venice last year?
Asking me the dates is tough.
It's that idea.
Like, I've been playing this game since it had 4 levels.
Right.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, moving right along. We also have a Patreon where it's like patreon.com/letstalkoculus, I think. If not, it's probably in the description right here below. And
Dan,
we got a new
right here.
Oh yeah.
Right there. Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan definitely is going to edit it in all these places. But we got a new member this week. So thank you so much. It is I won't say their name because they said it was on behalf of the Phoenix Gene team. So thank you to the entire Phoenix Gene team.
Appreciate it
for the
support.
Very cool. Very cool. No new comments this week. It's been a quiet one out there on the internet, at least with everything with the /letstalkoculus. But you can comment on Spotify. You can comment on YouTube. You can comment on other things, perhaps Apple. I'm not sure. I don't use those things. But you can also email us at letstalkoculus@gmail.com. And we have no P.O. box. Do you have a P.O. box? I'd love to get sent things, but
I
setting
do not,
that up seems...
I really need to set one up because I'm getting more and more stuff now. So I need to set one up so it's not just coming to my house.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does it for housekeeping. Late housekeeping. Because it's weird doing it while also leading into it. Yeah. But here we go. Let's get into part 1, our main topic, which will be catching up with you and a couple news stories. Let's start with you first because I've been doing too much talking and I'm not used to it and I need some water. So How have you been, Mike?
I am good. I put a video on my YouTube channel and I'll just talk about it now. I have, after many, many months of, I guess you could call it training. Long story short, I'm going to be making my own VR games, plural. I already built a few prototypes and just to kind of like learn the mechanics of Unity. I have a background in C#. That's what I went to school for, was computer science. But that was 20 years ago because I'm old. So relearning that. And I'm going to be getting into game dev here moving forward.
Very
so
cool.
Still going to do content. Twitch isn't going away. YouTube's not going away. But now I'm just adding this on to my already very busy schedule because I'm insane.
Are you thinking of starting a new channel that's like a devlog channel?
I don't know yet. Devlogs won't start until next year when I have, because right now I'm still like doing architecture and coding and stuff. Yeah. So everything is like the default Unity grid that sometimes you see on really bad looking games. And I'm not going to do a devlog of that, not until I have some art to show. So I haven't decided if I'm going to transform my existing channel into it, if my channel is going to be a hybrid of my dev stuff and content stuff. I don't know yet. I didn't get that far. I just know that I have this urge to build something. So nice. I'm just running with it now and hopefully it'll take me. Hopefully it goes well.
You've got the creative bug.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be honest. I'm a little younger than you, but pretty old when it comes to computer science. And I remember building an HTML. It was like computer science 101. So we were like learning the older stuff then, but it was like we built one in HTML for a project and like doing all the colors and all the boxes. And I was just looking at the website, like these are the websites I'm used to going to when I was like 8, 9, 10.
Right.
It was something else.
Yeah, you cringe when you look at them now, but at the time you were like, "This is so cool" because you created something. Like,
well, everybody learned HTML to customize their MySpace pages back in the day.
Yeah, top five. But no, like when you've actually created something, like it's like it's your child. No one can tell you your child is ugly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And how's things going over at the Twitch channel?
Twitch is my playground. I will say that until I'm blue in the face. You've been there multiple times. Like YouTube is, I do news and serious stuff. And I talk about, like Rec Room had layoffs last week, so I did a quick little story on that. I cover all that stuff. Twitch is just I'm a clown. It's me goofing off in VR and trying to sell the fun of it. I've said that every time I've been on this podcast. Like VR should be fun. I think so many people take it so seriously that they forget that it's supposed to be fun. So Twitch is all about the fun.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't having fun, I don't know that I'd be here with you on episode 202.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah. But yeah, I do try. There is an effort made, I'd say, to keep it fun for me. And I do, experience burnout from it at times too. I've taken long breaks.
Yeah, but I think the burnout is when I take it too seriously, is when I get really deep into the future of the tech and, all the companies that are involved in it and the lack of, funding. And that's when I get burned out, when like the relentlessly depressing stuff just gets to me. When I'm just in my headset and I'm having fun, I could never burn out on that.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't generally let that stuff get me because I just see it everywhere. So I'm just like, that's sort of just where things are headed.
Yeah.
But Mike, what are you most looking forward to this fall and or winter, through to the end of the year? Last week, Dan and I talked about a bunch of big hits like Reach, Thief VR. There were at least two others that are Arken Age coming, which I want to get into in a little bit. But other than Arken Age, what are the other ones you're looking forward to?
Drakenridge, which we'll talk about later because it's coming out. It'll probably be out by the time this podcast comes out, so I will have already played it. For those who don't know, I am a big, big fantasy guy. I played JRPGs growing up. My favorite series ever is The Legend of Zelda. That is very much my vibe. So I love Arken Age. And I think the people who love shooters and like dark fantasy games and post-apocalyptic games and co-op games, you guys are very, very well served. You guys are very well taken care of in VR. You should not be complaining at all about not having content to play. People like me
are well fed.
You are very well fed. People like me who like fantasy games, if I get like 2 games a year, I'm happy. So, and Drakenridge is going to be one of those games. We're talking about that. Arken Age right now is my game of the year. We'll talk more about it. But yeah, so that one's number one. Deadpool, just because I've had the good fortune to play a demo of it and I really enjoyed it. I don't expect it to be game of the year. I just expect it to be big, dumb fun. Because that's
sort of what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. And that's what Twisted Pixel makes. All their games are just big, dumb, and fun. Path of the Warriors, big, dumb, fun. Defector, big, dumb, fun. So
I got to finish Defector. I started that one and I got stuck somewhere. It was early on in my VRing, and I'm not, me. I get stuck pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I forget what it was, but yeah, it was good from what I played. I just never went back to it. But I do love Path of the Warrior.
Path of the Warrior is excellent. I could listen to that soundtrack for days. And then all the stuff that everyone else decided about, Thief VR, Reach. But honestly, like those are starting to run together for me now because they're all like, look at the movement and look at this. And you jump and do movement and here's the movement and I'm jumping around and like,
it does feel so cool though, Mike.
It feels awesome in the headset and I can watch that trailer and know that it's going to feel awesome in the headset. But I've also played so many of those that I'm like, I'm sure this game will be fine. I'm sure the game will be fun. But there's a lot of games like that. So I guess I'm craving something different, which is why Drakenridge is so far up there for me. I don't get a lot of fantasy games this year. The last one was Arken Age. Arken Age came out in January. So it's August. It's September now as we record this. So I like the games that come few and far between. I like my puzzle games. I like my fantasy games just as much as I like all that other stuff. So those are my big ones.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, that's sort of one of my hopes for a lot of these games was seeing like set pieces because I feel like you don't get those a lot in VR games. So I hope they bring like unique things that we don't really get a lot of those. Yeah. Well, because I don't think we'll have you on before. In a couple weeks, we got the MetaConnect. And so do you have any predictions or expectations? Because a little early plug, we will be live for that one. Time and date future.
Yeah. I got to check my schedule, see if I'm off work that day. I'll have to check. What am I expecting? Not much VR. Not much VR at all. I'm thinking it's going to be heavy on wearables, AI. They might even debut that neural interface they've been talking about forever. The thing goes on your wrist. They're not putting out new hardware for VR, which they shouldn't. I mean, they've launched 3 headsets 3 years in a row. So kind of need some time for Quest 3 and 3S to cook. As far as games, they'll talk about Deadpool a lot because that's their big first party offering. They've done one first party game every year. But we already know Deadpool's coming. So I wouldn't expect any surprises. I'll say that. Like last year, the surprise was, and they didn't even mention it. It was just in a graphic. And then everyone was like, what's this? And that was Triangle Strategy from Square Enix. Because some of us recognize the name, like those of us who play JRPGs, and we're like, what? Yeah, so I was excited about that, but they barely mentioned that. It was just, it was central to the graphic of, here are upcoming games. And that was it. So I'm expecting very, very little VR. It's going to be very tech heavy this year, I think. And that's fine. Like I didn't expect a new headset. Anyone who did,
definitely no new headset
no
expectation for me either. Yeah, I do think they'll show off that the HUD glasses with the neural wristband, which I imagine will be a big portion of it and probably be pretty cool.
And the Oakleys, they'll get to the Oakleys too. So I know they announced those, but they'll probably get a little bit deeper on that.
Yeah. But yeah, I do hope. I mean, I'm already going to play and excited for Deadpool. So whatever they show is just not of interest to me. But I guess for all the people that are watching it, for whoever does that, I'd hope for some cool spotlight on Deadpool for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. We'll probably do an expectations video, so I'll save them mostly for that. But I hope we get more VR than I expect we'll get.
Yeah, me too. Me too, but I've learned not to get my hopes up for stuff that's the way I'm not disappointed. So
yeah,
keeping expectations very low for this.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly for VR, definitely. All right. And last bit before we get into the news, Dan and I haven't played, well, Dan hasn't played Arken Age at all. I played a very little bit, I just like hopped in, got a sense of like, all right, this is what Arken Age is. I'll get to this one day. Backlog, toss it in. But now my hand is being called, as I do plan to get in when Dan will get in when it comes to Quest. But you, as previously mentioned, love the game of the year thus far. And so can you just give our listeners a sense of like what to expect, story, gameplay, and general vibes of the game, as spoiler free as you can?
Okay. The story is very simple. I'll explain your character because you'll know this 2 seconds into the game because it's explained right away. You are a created being called the Untethered One. You have been sent by your creator to basically go seek out her brother because she's like a demigod and he's a demigod because she hasn't heard from him in a while. That's pretty much the whole story. The whole story is your journey to get from where you were created, which is also the tutorial area of the game, all the way to where that person is and then figure out what's going on. That's the whole game, or that's the story. The game itself is sci-fi fantasy. It's got melee and it's got shooting. So you can kind of, depending on what your preference is, there's a bunch of different types of weapons. Each weapon comes in 2 to 3 parts. They're called weapon mods, where you start with a basic sword, a basic pistol, and a basic shotgun, and you find blueprints to swap out those for other accessories that create other guns. So your shotgun can become their version of a sniper rifle. They're all given really sci-fi names, or other types of weapons. Your sword can become an axe and things like that. Yeah. So you can kind of, and they all have special abilities and traits and stuff like that. So it's very similar to like an ARPG because that's pretty much what this is. You can customize your weapon after you find the blueprints to be whatever you prefer to use, however your fighting style is. The AI was a lot better than I thought. And yeah, it's just fun.
What was your preferred method?
I like a straight sword. I tried all the other stuff, but when it came, I'm a sword and shield guy. So even though it's very sci-fi, if you've seen the screenshots of it, the shield's like this, like shield that you have to expand when you first pull your shield hilt out. Yeah, I'm a basic sword and shield guy. I don't really get too much fancier than that. But I love fantasy games because if I want to see, I said this in my friend's stream the other day, if I wanted to see abandoned cars and boarded up windows, there's plenty of spaces in downtown Atlanta where I could just drive and go see that. I want to see something in VR that I can't see in my real life. And like some is just like the grandiose views. And I don't know how that stuff's going to translate to Quest, but like some of the grandiose views and like the scale of the world that they built is not like it's unlike other games, and that's why I love Asgard's Wrath 2 so much, because you just walk out and you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
I love that. Wow,
the fact that they got Asgard's Wrath 2 on there gives me hope for what I imagine like Arken Age will, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's less open. The areas are more contained. There's a lot packed into each area. There's tons of like optional things you could do, collectibles, things like that. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic game. It's been my favorite game this year thus far, and I've played about 50 something games thus far this year. So still number one.
About how long did it take you? And Noble Squashy, not to call him out here, but he told me he had to drop the difficulty a little bit on the final boss. If you could offer more color to the situation.
The final boss is a ramp from everything you've done before that. I just gritted my teeth and got through it. So, haha, Squashy. My first run through was about 15 hours, but I did everything before I fought the final boss. So I found every collectible. There's 130 of them. I did all the side quest stuff. So I had all the blueprints. I unlocked everything. So I wanted to have like my optimal loadout before I finished the game. I think if you just play mostly main story and just did some of the side stuff, it kind of as you saw it, I say maybe 8 hours or probably about it.
Okay.
But it's a good 8 hours. It's a good 8 hours. Yeah. There's no padding. There's no fluff like you get in a lot of these games. It's a good time.
I mean, that sounds like that's about how long Hubris took me.
Yeah. A game I haven't finished. I started about a dozen times. I've never finished it.
Yeah. See, that's one that I enjoyed, but it's I could see where like people fall off with it. I was having fun with it, but Arken Age sounds like something we'll look forward to, and I'm going to try just to challenge myself and make it, so I don't have to choose. I'm going to see what Dan goes with his build, and I'm going to try and do the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no real opposite, just you find different blueprints and swap them out for different things. So
I got you. All right.
But I would imagine, because you and Dan are both very different gamers, that you'll probably end up naturally just picking different weapons.
I'm more of a range guy. Whatever is like, I'm not trying to get up in anybody's business in VR. That's how I feel.
The enemies don't let you sometimes. They'll run right at you. In smart ways. Yeah. They'll chart the second they see you, they're coming after you. So
but all right, let's get into our two news stories that I picked out this week. And one of them is really just a game that I saw out there on the horizon called BirdSeed VR. And this comes from Upload VR's announcement. It's by Vancouver team Buffalo. BirdSeed VR is designed around real-life bird behavior that looks to mimic distinctive calls, movements, appearance, and flight patterns. Your shots, that's like photo shots, are rated on a 5-star scale while capturing photos alone or in online multiplayer with friends. And keep track of your progress in a journal. The socially focused multiplayer mode lets you share photos with friends or hang out across these forests. Mike, do you have any thoughts on this one before I give my thoughts?
I've seen some impressions or heard some impressions. I think this was at Gamescom last week.
Okay.
I think VR needs more chill stuff. I think VR needs more of the stuff it doesn't have enough of, just like fantasy games.
This looks cozy.
Do I think there's a massive audience for this? I don't know. I'm curious how many people who like cozy games just would like to have on the VR and just haven't been given that opportunity. So I'm looking forward to see how this goes. And the fact that it's social and you're not just walking around by yourself, I think will help it, because then you're like, oh, look at this one. You find this bird? That sort of thing. You get those conversations going. So it's not for me, but I'm glad it exists. And I think people find joy in that.
There are a few questions I have, like price. Like there's certainly a price point where I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in this anymore. I don't know where that price point is right now, but certainly over $20. I don't think I'd be getting this. And it's just very intriguing to me. Because it looks like it could be just such a great comfort game where you're just walking through, exploring the forest. And it looks stylized, right? It looks really, it's got a good style to it.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of makes me wish it was a Pokemon Snap, but I'll take birds. And I'm curious, like, how big they are. Like, if I just hop into one and how the multiplayer works, right? Is it like you party up, or am I joining like a VR chat world where there could potentially, I could run into people, or like there's a cabin where we could meet type of deal, or like, can I just like choose to be in the woods where I might run into people, and kind of do my own thing, and then like, oh hey, we both ran into this bird we were tracking,
right?
There's some questions here. I'm pretty dang interested though, and the fact that it gives you like the journal, things to check off, kind of like Untitled Goose Game, some simple things, like throw a rock in the lake, try to skip a rock, something like this. Just like various random VR interaction things to do. This one, BirdSeed VR. I clicked it and I was like, there's no way. I watched the trailer. Trailer doesn't really tell you much.
It really doesn't. Yeah. I don't like that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, we could really have a whole segment of an episode beyond dissecting like what makes a good VR trailer and all that jazz. But yeah,
cheap plug. Every Thursday on Twitch, we go through all the new VR releases of the week and we sit there and critique the trailers. It is.
That has been fun.
Time.
You do have some good critiques here and there, especially some of those trailers are terrible.
The second I see a main menu in the trailer, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. To say like or you see the mouse type of deal.
I need like the 10 commandments of bad VR trailers. Like, thou shalt not have your mouse cursor on the screen. There's so many.
Exactly. But yeah, there we are. BirdSeed VR, our first news story there. I didn't see a release date, but it was just an announcement. So stay tuned. I'm sure I'll keep that in the news because I'm very interested in it. And hopefully, maybe I'll get myself some early access. Who knows? Next news story, Mike. This one, we're going to go in a plane. We're going to fly out of this country we live in here, and we are going all the way to Vietnam, where visitors can relive the 1945 Independence Day through virtual reality at a Hanoi exhibition. The experience is part of the exhibition, quote, 80 Years of Independence, Freedom, Happiness at the Vietnam Exposition Center in Hanoi. The VR simulation of President Ho Chi Minh reading the Declaration of Independence on September 2nd, 1945 at Ba Dinh Square.
Well done, sir.
You should did I get it right? I'm not sure.
Actually. I don't know, but that was a good effort. I'm not.
All right.
I'm not gonna try to say the next name.
I was confident until then. Until you. Yeah.
I'm not saying that next name though.
Dom Juan Thong, I think, said, quote, "It felt incredible, almost like I was standing there in Ba Dinh Square. Without this experience, we wouldn't truly understand how special that day was or feel the emotion of President Ho Chi Minh's speech. 80 years have passed, but his words still echo in our hearts. This gives the younger generation a chance to see the nation's heroic past in a way that books can't." At the exhibition, VOV, that's what the program likes, that's their acronym, will serve visitors for 9 days from August 28th to September 5th so they can experience a sacred moment of the nation. And yes, that's exactly it, Mike. This is criminally short. This type of experience could be like used to generate museum revenue potentially, but really I wish I could try it selfishly. Yeah. And really, this gives none of our listeners time to fly to Vietnam to see it.
Yeah, like I can't book a plane on short notice. especially coming off a holiday here in the States.
Exactly. But this is just so cool. Everything about this just sounds really cool. It sounds like a pretty short experience, but I'm all about it. I wish that this was in more schools. I wish this was in more museums, because as Dam Wan Thong says, like, this is just offers you things that books, internet, all those things just can't. It offers you presence of like actually being in these places and seeing them as best that can be replicated. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
I love educational stuff in VR. I really do. And I mean, most kids, not all, but most kids learn with their hands. They're tactile learners. That's how they discover the world, dating back to when they're babies. And being able to have them experience that instead of just reading it in a history book, I think just really like that sense of presence is something you can't get from just reading it. So I love this. I wish there was more stuff like this. I love the Martin Luther King experience. The Time Is Now. I love the Anne Frank experience. Whenever there are any of these apps in VR, I always download them and preserve them because I loved seeing stuff like that. And it opens up VR to things to like expand it outside of gaming, which I think is 100% needed for greater adoption than what we have right now. So I love the whole idea of this. I wish there was like a permanent exhibit. I've been working behind the scenes because the Martin Luther King Memorial is roughly 20 minutes from where I live to try to get something like that, because I've actually shown people who work there the Martin Luther King VR experience.
That's cool.
Yeah. I took my Quest down there last year when I was down there for a gaming convention, and I showed it to them, and they were like, this is absolutely freaking amazing. Didn't get them to buy a Quest though, so I'm gonna try again. No, because I think stuff like that, if you just stick someone in that environment and just let them experience that, is incredible. So I
get that like VR logistically is tough for a museum situation, right? Like getting hundreds or thousands of people in the same headsets, sanitized, and like all that like running smoothly. It logistically probably hard, but like Meta's got a lot of money, and I feel like Meta could probably keep this exhibit alive for us in some regard. So if you're out there, please do it. Please get more of it like this out there. Listeners of the show know that I love these types of experiences. Even like non-educational like movie experiences I love. So I do, and of course I love documentaries. So getting them together, even better. Chef's kiss. Did you watch the hang gliding documentary? I'm now flubbing on the name, but it's on Oculus TV.
I did not, because hang gliding scares the piss out of me. So
reasonable.
Bridge too far, but heard it was cool, but bridge too far.
That is reasonable, because even I felt it the first time that they jump and you just look down and you're like, oh, this is okay.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah, that was something else. And I turned the fan on my Bobo thing, like way up high. It was great immersion. But yeah, more of those experiences, please. But Mike, for our part one, a little short, probably could have squeezed in one more news story, but you know what? We've got a lot of games to play, games to talk about, because we played a lot of games. So see y'all in part 2.
Hey, we know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
Welcome back to part 2 of Let's Talk Oculus, episode 202. I am still here, and so is Live Open Mike. I have not scared him away.
Nice shirt, by the way. I should point that out. That's an excellent shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, for the audio listeners, my shirt is a really, really cool band shirt. Now it's a live open mic shirt, of course. And Mike is also wearing a really cool shirt, which is an Arkham Shadow shirt.
Yes. Shout out to the Quest Creator Program for hooking me up. Love the shirt.
Yeah, that's a great shirt for sure. But part 2, we're going to get into what we've been playing, and both of us have like 6+ games to talk about. But let's talk about the game we got into together, and that is Forefront, the alphabet.
Forefront, the alphabet.
Currently in alpha. There's one map. Are there 6 classes? 5 or 6 classes, I forget. Assault, Engineer, Medic, Recon, Anti-Air, and those were the all I can remember. But
that's all I can remember too. If there's a 6, I call it.
Okay, those are the 5 I had. 32 player battles, but like the maps can be played at lower. I think in the future they'll probably have bots. No bots right now. You can drive 4-wheelers, tanks, Hummers, helicopters. So far, I'm enjoying it. I played 2 beta weekends. You're split into 4 like squads of 4, and there's local, like you can chat to your squad mates, and then there's local chat, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like when you get close to people, enemies or otherwise.
Proximity chat.
There we go. Proximity chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say this has sort of supplanted the Breachers Friday night that I had been going on for several years there. And I do kind of miss the slow pace and the like camaraderie of the post Breachers game where everybody's in the lobby together and can talk. This is, although you get to know your squad mates, like you're not really talking to many other people. Which, you know, it could be, it scratches other itches other than the Breachers itch, which is all right. But as far as how it's things I enjoy in this, it's the driving the 4-wheeler, driving the Hummer is pretty good too. I like tanking, gunning the tank.
Yeah, I didn't like driving the tank.
Yeah, not for me. And learning the helicopter, not for me. Like I got in one and I accidentally hopped out of it, and I was like, not doing this again as I parachuted down.
Right.
So the assault class has sort of like an automatic weapon that's pretty. It's pretty good. It feels pretty good to shoot, and they can replenish people's ammo. This is there's like 3 classes I prefer. This class, Medic, which obviously can revive or replenish people's health, also has an automatic weapon, but a little bit worse than the assault weapon and less ammo. And then the anti-air, which is sort of not a great one, but sort of necessary if the other team is using the helicopters. And anti-air uses a rocket launcher for that and has a shotgun, which it's honestly pretty OP when you're close, but after you shoot it 8 times, you got to load that sucker one by one. And so that's a little tough. And then as far as gameplay, it's capture points. There's A, B, C, D, E, and the points sort of move around the map each go round. Like, and at each game seems to take like 20 minutes or so. I don't know.
We had one go. Our first one went like 25 minutes, and I was really surprised how long that looked. But we were just trading zones back and forth. That no one's really getting an advantage.
Then we got smoked.
Yeah, then we got smoked. That second round, we got smoked very quickly. Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel? So overall, I'd say I'm enjoying it. It's good fun. It's definitely an alpha, right? There's just the one map. I do think they're going to add another class. I think they're probably going to change some of the classes up. But I'm liking the base of what I'm seeing, and having like seen Breachers go from alpha on, and how that went, and Hyperdash, honestly, it's a good base.
Yep.
In my opinion.
It's Triangle Factory. I expected it to be good and well made, and it was. I'm going to remove my shooter burnout from what I'm about to say. And the fact that it's alpha, so you expect some frame drops, which there were. You expect some grab jank, there were. Latency. Like that it's alpha. They got to work that stuff out, but they need as many people as possible to play it, so they know where to put their focus. So that's fine. No, the gameplay loop is fine for what it is. I don't like dying in 2 minutes. You know, even if you're good, you're most likely gonna, get yeeted a few minutes in and then respawn. And I don't know, that gameplay loop just isn't my vibe. But what's there is well made. I will say the recon class, the sniper rifle absolutely needs work. That scope is horrific. I have heard that. It's horrific. It's so bad. But no, all the other classes are fine. The weapon channel. Go ahead.
Honestly, that kind of makes sense because there's no real sniper rifle in Breachers.
Mm-hmm. And there's not one in Hyperdash either.
Yeah, in Hyperdash, the sniper is like a handgun type of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're just like basically aiming down sights and it just lines up for you. So it's the first time using a sniper rifle, I guess, in this, and it definitely needs some work. No, the game's fine. The game's fun. I don't worry about it overtaking Breachers or anything like that because you already said
a different vibe.
It's a completely different vibe. But I can see people having like Breachers one night and then Forefront another night and, Exfil another night. Like there's enough variety of shooters in VR now that instead of everyone just playing Fortnite or Population One or Contractors, now there's so many different options out there that depending on what you're going for, if you want CSGO, you can play something like Alvo. If you want like Rainbow Six style Siege or something like that, you can play Breachers. Like there's enough out there to extract two major extraction shooters now that, and this is filling that Battlefield itch. So I'm glad that there's enough variety here that everyone who likes certain types of shooters will have an option of something to play. So that's good.
Did you play any Showdown?
The original Showdown?
Yeah, like Contractor Showdown, right? Because that was a battle royale, right? Like,
yeah, before they basically shuttled it for Exfil Zone. Yes, I played it and I loved it. I wasn't.
Is it now all Exfil Zone?
It's not all that. The original Showdown still exists, but Exfil Zone was such a.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
Exfil Zone was such a hit that's pretty much all they focus on now. A few months after Showdown, the battle royale came out. They basically realized that 64-player lobbies were not good because they were having trouble maintaining those. So they created this mode called Rebirth that was 32 players, and that basically split the player base. And then from there on, you cannot play a regular battle royale without getting like a crap ton of bots, and that pissed off enough people to where Showdown just started taking it down like this. And then Exfil Zone launched, and all the people who were tired of Jank of Tabor, Ghost of Tabor, flipped over the Exfil Zone, and that's been such a hit that's really where Caveman's been focusing their energy. So,
gotcha.
Which is a shame because I thought Showdown was really good. That's a shame.
I enjoyed the Showdown a couple times, but so far what I played from Forefront, I've enjoyed Forefront more than Showdown. Yeah. But I think that's also like gameplay loop. I'm not the biggest fan of
Battle Royale. Yeah, I get it. But it's good that there's enough for the people who want Battle Royales. You got options for people who want. Yeah. After Forefront comes out, people who want like Battlefield style, you're going to get something like this.
Did you ever play Flat Battlefield at all?
No. Battlefield started when I got out of flat shooters. So
gotcha. There was this random time. I think when I was in high school or before high school, and I didn't really know anything about PC gaming at the time, but I got a new computer. I must have convinced my parents to give me a new computer for school, and it was able to play games because I remember. I remember getting one of those Battlefields back then, and my neighbor came over and he was like, "Bro, you got Battlefield like on the PC?" And so we like switch off and all that, and that sort of introduced me and got me into it. But I didn't like seek out Battlefield all the time after that. Right. But I understand the gameplay loop. I enjoy it for what it is. I see these types of shooters I can play like once a week for a couple hours, but like I can't do. It doesn't consume my life for like the amount of time I play. You know what I mean?
Right. It's also well timed because of all the hype around Battlefield 6 right now, because that game's been so well received. Now VR is like, okay, now we got a Battlefield style game VR at a time where that style of game is getting a lot of attention. So the alpha is really well timed right now. I just hope they get the full version out. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Why don't you start us off with the game you've played?
I'll skip. I wrote down Forefront too, so I'll skip that. I talked about it earlier. I played the Walkabout Tokyo DLC on Twitch with my friends. It was very unhinged because my friends and I are clowns when we play Walkabout, but I love that course so much. Sorry, go ahead.
When you play, no, sorry, I'm interrupting you, but mostly because I'm just curious. When we play in LTO Discord, we generally do 2 courses simultaneous and then 1 race mode at the end. And the whole thing usually takes us about exactly an hour. Mm-hmm. How do you go about playing with your community?
We're completely casual. We get in there, we goof off. Half the time someone's turn is up for a minute. I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. Let me go take my shot real quick. But we're just like admiring the scenery and just hanging out and vibing. Like gotcha. The golf is almost secondary to exploring the map and just the social aspect and hanging out with friends. But that course was so much fun to explore and look around and just like find all the little nooks and crannies and secrets and stuff. So it was excellent. I can't say enough about it. It's the Elvis course. I said this earlier in part 1. The Elvis course was my favorite course up until this one. This one is that good. I think it's excellent. So
yep, a couple instruments to find in there too for anybody looking for those little Easter eggs.
Yeah, and for anyone who is into Japanese culture, if you and know a lot about like the Neko stuff and things like that, like you'll find all these little things that you're like, oh, is that this? Oh, is that? Like they did a really good job with it.
Very good.
All right, your turn.
All right, Mike, I got a PlayStation VR 1. I'm not sure you know.
Yeah, I saw it.
And I love it. It's pretty great for what it's got. I think if anybody out there with like a PS4 or PS5 can find this thing for like around $100, I got it for $150. I did almost get it for $100, and then the person realized what they had, and now they're trying to sell it for $300.
Right.
And then at that point I was like, no, now I need it. And so anyway, I got a pretty much brand new one, and I've been playing Astrobot Rescue Mission still. Stuck on the last boss a little bit. I did like get to him like the final bit. Like I got through all his sequences, and then I could not figure out how to like really just shoot him in the end. And then I watched a video. I was like, oh my God, that's it. Jesus.
It says a lot about the game that you got to the end though, because you and I have joked about this forever that you don't finish games. So the fact that you even got that far speaks volumes to how good that game is.
It's quite a magical game. It gave me a lot of, honestly, Max Mustard isn't too far from where Astrobot is in my mind. It's definitely got a beat on the music. Astrobot's really great music wise. And, a couple of the levels are really unique. There's like a tide level where you go like underwater and then outside the water. That's great. But mostly Astrobot, my girlfriend's daughter's been loving it. And we got into like flat Astrobot. And now whenever she's like, oh, can we play some games? I'm like, sure. I'm like, do you want it in the headset or not? And she's like, Astro in the headset. And I'm like, all right. And she absolutely loves it. I have to make sure she's like on World 1 or 2 really. Because after that, the platforming gets a little tough.
It ramps up.
Yeah. And it is tough having her in the headset, and then she'll be like taking the controller, and then like I'll be trying to platform, but like I'm like, what? You have to keep an eye on Astro so I can like see what's going on in the headset.
Yeah.
But yeah, Astrobot Rescue Mission. It is as good as anybody told me, and fantastic. If you can ever find a way to play it, I recommend driving to that friend's house and trying it out, Mike.
That's exactly what I did when I played it. I didn't finish it, but I played it for about 2 hours. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Yeah. I'm so glad you listened to me. What else have you got into?
Thanks to bhaptics and the MetaQuest Creator Program, I have my first haptics vest. So this isn't a game. This is just me discovering something that I never thought I would want. And I'm still not 100% sold on it, but just because I don't play the types of games that I would need a haptics vest for that often. Having said, I'm playing Dragon Ridge on Thursday, and I hope they have bhaptics integration. We'll see.
What have you played with it?
Let's see. After the Fall, which I later found out was modded, so I had to go download the mod to play it. Final Fury, the fighting game for the makers of Synth Riders. That is excellent. You should all play it. It's excellent. It's great. If you like old school, like 1990s fighting games, it is 100% that vibe in VR. Go play that. I'll talk more about Final Fury.
They're pretty good with that integration because I love it for Synth Riders, but go on.
Yeah, I tried Synth Riders, Arken Age, which is an old like vintage style shooter. I played Grimlord in it today, actually, before I went to work. And I've experimented with a bunch of different things. I played Hollow Knight flat with it. That was a lot of fun.
Like audio?
Mm-hmm. No, it has full integration. Yeah, I fought a boss, and every time it hit me, like it popped me in my chest. I thought it was really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's been fun.
Cool.
It's been, I appreciate it for what it is. I think if I played a lot more shooters, I would get a lot more out of it. But now, whenever I play a melee game, that thing's coming on just because it's so much fun. So yeah, shout out to bhaptics for hooking me up.
I never thought to try it with a flat game like that. That's unique. I got to try that.
Check the app. There's a whole list of games that's compatible with. And the back haptics hit harder because I'm sitting in the chair. So it's like it's bumping up against the chair. So it's pushing those units into my back a little bit harder. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That makes sense. Yeah, I love it. I use it. See that maybe once Forefront gets haptic support, that could help a little bit. As I do love using it for breachers. And honestly, I pretty much use it for breachers and synth riders, and that's mostly it.
I say it'd be a lot of fun in Forefront. It'd be awesome in Forefront with when you're on the 4-wheeler and you can feel that rumble, or you're in the helicopter. Yeah, they could do a lot of fun stuff with that with the vehicles.
Yeah. And honestly, I've said this before to Dan, but the sleeves just make all the reloading, all that, particularly in synth riders too, because it's on the hand that you're hitting with. But they really do add. I feel like if you're looking to spend the $400 to $500 on this haptics situation, my recommendation is, if you're looking to save some money, is to go with the lighter vest, right? Like the 16, I think, and then get the sleeves. Because it's about $400, $450 or something, whereas the full vest is, I think, $500.
Yeah,
they might have increased their prices. Yeah,
they just went up on the 27th, actually. Somewhere from 10 to 15%, depending on which one that you buy.
Good old tariffs.
Yeah. All right,
moving right along. Oh wow, back to me. You know what? I'm going to squeeze in another PSVR one here, and that's Wipeout, because were you ever a Wipeout guy back in the day?
I was not a Wipeout guy back in the day, but I have played on PSVR 1, and I was like, this is criminal that it's not on PSVR 2.
Yeah.
Criminal.
It's almost so Astrobot's great, but I understand it's got some things unique to the PlayStation 4, the DS4, all that tracking, and there's certain things that you'd have to really port over. Wipeout, no. You're using the controller. The controller is the same. It could work right now. I do think I read that there's something with the IP or the studio not maybe not existing, or it's up in flux. I don't really know.
The developers that ported it don't exist anymore, technically.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you feel like you're going so fast, and you just zone in, and resolution of the PSVR 1 alone, aside, it's peak racing, and I've got to try and find time to get a multiplayer game in, because honestly, I used to play it on PlayStation with a buddy, so 2-player. So I'm not used to playing Wipeout with 8 people. So,
and that type of racing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it. The single player is enough. Yeah.
I was gonna say that type of racing, there's not a lot of that in VR. There's I think I can't remember the name of the game. It's something combat racing. It's on PC VR. I'll have to look it up later. And there's a game.
Is that the one where you can flip where you are?
Yeah.
Grid or something?
Grid. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Grid. No, Grip. Yeah, you're right. Grip combat racing.
Grip.
Right.
Okay.
And then there's a game called Radio G that got the Quest port called Radio G Proteus. So there's a PC VR version, and there's a cell shaded Quest version. Really, that's it. Off the top of my head. As someone who loved F-Zero when I was a kid, I want more of that in VR because that sensation of speed is amazing. So the first time I played Wipeout over my friend's house, I have a friend who has a massive man cave that there's probably enough, I'd say about $250,000 worth of tech in his man cave, and he's a massive VR fan. Dude, he's got full fantastic. Driving rig, full sim rig. When I mean rig, I don't mean like a chair and hold us. I mean full get into a rig, car. Everything. Yeah, exactly. He's got everything in his man cave. So once every few months, he lives about 2 hours away from me. So once every few months, I go over there and just spend the day in his man cave, and he shows all the new toys he got.
Bro, that's the friend that you're like, I'm taking a vacation and I'm going to your house.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's how I experienced Wipeout, Astrobot. He put me in PSVR 1 for like 8 hours and said, play whatever you want. So play some other stuff.
I gotta get more friends over and try it out.
Yeah. With as much VR as you got, man, you gotta be doing more demos. So I think you'd be a great ambassador for it.
Tough. Like I feel like I just burnt out from all the friends that so like a year ago I dog sat for a friend. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you want me to pay you? And I was like, nah, man, just let me give you a VR demo for like an hour or two. And he just it never got scheduled. Mm. And so like that epitomizes where I feel like I'm at with most people. Okay. They just like, I gave my brother a Quest 3. He had it for like a year, never opened it. And eventually he just like, is doing his van life situation or whatever. And he was like, dude, I'm just not going to use this. He gave it to me. And I had it for like a week or two. And I was like, you know what? I gave another buddy, I used to live in Connecticut, like a Quest 2. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give this to him. Cause at least I know he's going to use it. Like I know he still uses a Quest 2. So at least it's going to get used. But yeah, like people just, we need like retail stores, and I'd love to like run a like a retail meta store or something like that. Or I've thought about this like at the Bubbler, the VR arcade, like Meta could just have like a part of it that was, you know, try out headsets, like if you're here, type of deal. It's criminal. I don't know how to fix it. You know, I've got a business degree, but I don't work there.
Right. Sorry, we got way off topic. Sorry, Dan. We got way off topic there.
Yeah. Anyway, the games we've been playing. Your turn.
My turn. No Man's Sky. I have hundreds of hours in that game now. I got a new update. The Expedition, which is where they basically give you like a whole big miniature side quest. It takes you a few hours to finish. Should launch probably by the time this podcast comes out. So looking forward to hopping back into that in VR. That is now my forever game in VR. That is the game that I will continuously come back to because it's been almost 10 years of consistent updates. It took me a while to love it. It took me a while to love it because my friends who love No Man's Sky are big into building. I am not big into building. So I had to find my lane. And there's so much stuff you can do in No Man's Sky. They just gotta find the stuff that excites you about it and just, you know, iterate on that over and over again.
Building is not my thing either.
It's not. And this new update allows you to build something called a Corvette, which is just your base ship in the game. You can't really walk around in it. You get into it, you're in the cockpit. When you exit it, you just leave the cockpit and that's it. In this new update, they're allowing you to build a ship right now called a Corvette that you can actually like turn on your autopilot and walk around the ship, and you can put modules in it for like radar and stuff like that. So it's opening up some new things to do. You can exit the ship and float around the space now, which sounds really, really whatever. But man, do that in VR and you're just floating in the middle. Yeah. It's amazing in VR, even though the resolution sucks because the VR integration is not optimized. What'd you just drop?
Stuff going on out
it's
there.
All good.
Yeah,
it's
sorry
all good.
about that. Drops on my end.
Yeah. But no, so I'm gonna be hopping into that probably tomorrow on stream, which you'll have happened by the time this comes out. So
you've I remember you having issues with this one. You've got it running smooth now.
It's not running smooth because I don't have a 5090. No Man's Sky in general is a very CPU heavy game because every single planet is procedurally generated. All that is CPU bound. So whenever you fly into the atmosphere of a planet, the game generates that planet as you're flying into it to land on it. So you need a HOS processor and a HOS GPU because there's a lot of really beautiful stuff there. That was on flat screen. Now add on VR, which is like twice as taxing. it's just a very hard game to get looking really good at VR unless you have a really high-end headset and a really high-end rig. I don't have either one. So I have to drop the render resolution on my Quest 3 to like Quest 2 levels just to be able to get it to play. And even then, I'm still running on potato settings because I have a 3070. So
gotcha.
That's one of those, VR is a game of compromises, and that's one of those things where you make a sacrifice to be able to play something in the VR. But in all honesty, I play like 50-50 VR and flat because there's certain things, like the combat sucks in VR because of how they did the bindings. So there's certain things I do flat, there's some things I do in VR.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's one I've got to get back on because it looks really good in the PlayStation VR too.
Yeah.
And I think with these updates, it's the first one to add the PSSR, something like this.
Did you get a Pro? Did you get the PS5 Pro?
Yeah. Before I was like, once Xbox increased their prices, I was like, Sony's going to do this. GPU prices, I'm not getting one of those.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get this. And quite honestly, it's mostly for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, and it does help Gran Turismo, which is probably the one I play most. Not that much, but it did. Like I hopped into. I got to do the thing is I get locked in these first 2 hours of No Man's Sky. I get off the thing, and then like I stop. I put it down. I don't go back to it in time, and then like I've forgotten everything.
Yeah,
and
it's a game you got.
Yeah.
It's a game you gotta give time to cook, and then once you get past all the introductory stuff, which does admittedly take a few hours, then you can very quickly find your lane. I have a friend who has played like 500 hours of No Man's Sky. She has just played tons of it and has never finished the main story.
That's wild.
She just builds all the time, and that's fine. That's okay. Like once you find the thing you like about No Man's Sky, you'll just do that, and then it becomes a lot more fun. Then the game opens up. So back to you.
Back to me. So this is a new one, Banners and Bastions, $9.99. It is a mixed reality hand tracking game, tower defense. This comes from Upload VR. Banners and Bastions sees you interact with the battlefield by moving your flag to direct troop movements, deploying units by grabbing and positioning them around the board or selecting new ones when available, and dropping them right into the action. You can cast spells like fireballs, which you simply grab and drop onto enemy units. Honestly, they just break it down way more succinctly than I know I would. So moving right along, each campaign takes place across turn-based waves, allowing you to strategically place units and defenses before the next round. You can recruit troops like archers, swordsmen, spear carriers, as well as place defensive structures like towers, walls, and other barriers to block choke points. Once a round starts, you observe the miniature scale battles playing out in real time from top-down perspective, and you can move your troops around as needed or perform a spell. And I got kind of hooked on this one, Mike. I went to play, and I was like, oh, I'll just hop in. Like, I like the Defender hand tracking game. I forget what it's called now off the top of my head. The development team made, but I knew what I was expecting, right? Like a simple mixed reality game. That's what I wanted. And I was plowing through these first like 7 levels, getting 3 stars. They're much like I don't know, like all those games, you know, like Overcooked, right? You get the 3 stars if you each level you have like a big castle and then 2 little houses. Thus far, maybe it expands. I only beat the first world, and then you got to defend these 3 things. If you're able to defend all 3 through all the waves, you get 3 stars. 2 of them survive, 2 stars, etc. With your stars, then you can buy upgrades that persist.
Okay.
But once you got all 3, like there was a time where, so I played through all 7 levels and then I got stuck. And then I was like, wow, I need some strategy here. Before then I was sort of like messing up. Just, you're able to just like, you know, it's teaching you the game. And then it's all of a sudden like, now you know the game, except I didn't. So as I was trying different strategies, eventually I beat it. And then there's a whole a boss at the end. I was like, wow, a boss. This is cool. Like, I've never done like a tower defense boss level like this. It was very, I'm hooked. But it's getting hard. It's taking some strategy. You unlock new cards as you progress through the game. The cards are sort of like upgraded armies, if you will. And so, like, if you keep beating a level, you're going to unlock a new card, and that card's. So I've gotten like 2 stars on a level, and then been like, all right, now and then I unlock the better army guy. I'm like, all right, now I'm going back in there. I'm getting that 3rd star. Right. And so it has that like, oh, I'll just do one more, or oh, I got to restart. Like I messed that. I want to retry that. It's a quite addictive gameplay loop. There's no real like through line, so to say, like a story. I can't really speak to how different all the sceneries are, as I've only just entered the second world. I saw that it's procedurally generated, but each level that you go into, the same level is going to be the same each time. Right. But I think that as you like, the game is endless, is what I've read, and so there's just going to be more worlds, and eventually, hopefully, I'll unlock everything. I think I've got like 20 to 30 stars, and whoever's top on the leaderboards has like 200 something. Okay. Which seems like a lot.
I think tower defense games are perfect for VR because of the short gameplay loop.
Yeah, it is very easy to be like, I'm done. Like, that was enough.
Or I only got 15 minutes to play. Let me hop in and run the level real quick. Now you can't do that with every game.
So I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's very fair price. It's a fun little game here. I don't know. It was full release. It must be a full release. It was on, I guess. I think they're adding more.
I think it is because the Quest Creator Program did it, and we don't get early release games or early access games. No, it's a full release. It's not early release or early access.
I just saw on the roadmap that they're definitely adding more. So, expect more. Even if you get it in, hopefully you enjoy it as much as I have. Banners and Bastions, a little, and it's hand tracking. Honestly, I enjoy a good hand tracking game. I can be playing the game up here, and then Ruby, my little dog, comes over. I give her some pets. I'm gonna get back to my tower defense. All right, back to you, Mike.
I talked about it earlier. Final Fury. Samson is a big Synth Riders fan. Anyone who's ever listened to this podcast will know that. Same developers, Clue Interactive. They wanted to make a love letter to the 1990s fighting games of old. So Fatal Fury, Street Fighter, Tekken, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat. It's giving that flavor. There's, I think, 7 characters. And the original version of the game felt like a rhythm game where there were like specific like pop outs that you were supposed to hit to do damage. And they quickly just scrapped that down and went back to basics with it. So now you are actually punching your opponent, you're blocking, you're shooting fireballs. Everyone has like 3 basic moves that they do. And everyone has a throw. And when you do the throw, it cuts out to a third person camera. So you can see either you execute the throw or you being thrown. And they did that, I think, and it's something I thought about for my game, which I'll talk about later. I think they did that because they can get more elaborate animations when you're not in first person being spun in the air and then slammed directly to the ground. That will, make someone sick if they do that. So
it's very true.
No, it's a lot of fun. And as someone who grew up playing those games, my game was Killer Instinct 2. I would put down my quarter. I would get to the stick, and I would just hold court for an hour whenever I went to the arcade because I was unbeatable in that game. I love that game. And then like Virtual Fighter is my game too. I'm a big Jack guy. So if you're one of those people who grew up in arcades playing these games, or even now if you're playing like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that, and you're looking for that kind of flavor in VR, but you actually want to like be the character and do that stuff, Final Fury is great for that. Clue, you don't have to pay me for that plug. I just love your game. So
yeah, and that is one I got in real early. I gotta try that one out again. It's not. I mean, it's not my like style generally. These games, like Tekken, all the fighting games I've enjoyed when they come up, like if friends are getting together and they're like, oh, let's kill some time. Like, oh, somebody's got this on. Like, we'll play a couple matches. Or I was playing Tekken 2. It's on like the PS Plus old classics
right.
a little bit. But, you know, I don't really, I don't seek them out too much. But it does look good. And I do love myself some Cluj. And a reason to use my bhaptics vest.
That's yeah, it does have haptics integration. So
yeah,
that's me. Back to you.
Actually, just mentioning the bhaptics vest, it works with Spatial Ops, and now that I bought a bhaptics vest years ago, and then they recently sent me this one, so now I have two, and now I really want to get a Spatial Ops like mixed reality game with both two people wearing the full bhaptics vests.
That'd be fun.
That would be an incredible, VR demo. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, then just have a camera overhead, like filming you guys going through it.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta always film it. And last but not least is sort of a mix of flat and VR because it is Luminous Arise. So this is a third VR headset I got in this week, which is finally my PlayStation VR 2. The Luminous Arise demo is out, and it's just flat, but you can play it in the VR headset and sort of get the, kind of the effect. I do think the full release will be full VR, as much as like Tetris Effect is. For those of you who don't know, I'm just going to read the store page because it's a tough one to sort of describe. Luminous Arise is a heart-pumping fusion of addictive puzzle gameplay, thumping audio, and eye-popping visuals. Experience a synthetic journey of sound and light through over 30 handcrafted stages where every block, every combo, and every beat is a feast for the senses. Whether you're advancing the single-player mode, competing in multiplayer, or striving for the top of the leaderboards, the gameplay will draw you in, promising an irresistible allure of just one more round. And I was feeling that allure of just one more round. I'm a big Tetris guy, so I understand those shapes. I understand like how I'm getting Tetris, putting those together. Luminous Arise, you're getting blocks of 4, and they're one of 2 colors each, like circle in this block of 4, and then you've got to make like chunks of 4 or greater, and then those blocks disappear. That's as best as I can describe this game. And it's just like a whole new sort of puzzle that I've never really thought of or played. So I was really struggling just to like learn how to get through these levels. But I'm enjoying it. It's great music, much like Tetris Effect, cool effects. I'm all in, and I can't wait for the full release.
I've not played that one, but I love Tetris Effect, so you just sold me on it. So I'll be checking it out.
You got anything else? I think you got one more down here.
I got one more, and I'll talk more about the game stuff. CookOut. He mentioned Overcooked earlier and trying to 3-star every level. I'm currently playing CookOut from Resolution Games and trying to 3-star every world with a friend of mine. We played the other day. We're down to the last 2.
He's so close.
We got through 2 levels the other day. It took us 90 minutes. And by the time we got that last 3-star, because we knew we were about to hit it, because we had enough time. We only had like 1 plate left. We were saying, as we were selling that last plate, I'm done. You done? Yeah, I'm done too. Like, we were exhausted. Both of us just completely caked in sweat from...
It takes a lot of focus.
Yeah, grinding through that. Yeah, so we're going to get back together in a couple of weeks and try to finish it off. But that's been fun. That's probably my favorite. You don't have to move game in VR. I use it for multiple demos. It's great for that. So,
I haven't really played that one much, but
if you like Overcooked, you'll like that.
Yeah, I get stressed out and Overcooked, and like feeling that stress in virtual reality stresses me out.
You play shooters. We played Forefront together the other day.
Yeah, but that's not stressful. That's just like,
we played Breachers.
I'm just going. Yeah, but who cares if I die? Really, like CookOut's like, I've got to like, you've got to be perfect in order to get the 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different tension.
Yeah, that's fascinating that shooters don't stress you out. Shooters stress me out every time I play them. They're fun, but they stress me out every time I play them. They're not relaxing.
I get that way more in Breachers when you're like one last one type of deal, and you know really trying to hold it down. But in Forefront, I don't get that feeling. In fact, I don't.
You don't have time to get that feeling. You just
in Forefront, I don't really care if I'm winning or losing because I'm just like going in there shooting, having kind of like exactly. Whereas Breachers, I do feel like I want to win a little bit more, but even still, I don't take my things too. There are people I play with who are probably like, this guy's saying he doesn't take it seriously. Like in the moment, sometimes like, oh, we almost had it, that type of deal. But ultimately, it's it's a game.
Yeah. And then the last one, I mentioned this earlier. I'm currently working on building my own games. So, my dream project, which will take, I'm going to say 18-ish months, and I've already 7 months in, 18, 24 months to complete, is I want to build a turn-based JRPG for VR. And I have a 80-something page document written out for it right now with all the mechanics, all the characters. Some of that stuff has changed as I've gotten into the coding and realized either something is outside the scope of what I can do, or it just doesn't work in VR. So I've already changed some things around. But yeah, that is the main goal. So I'm currently building a prototype of just the combat. So when you load the game, you'll hit start and you'll get a quick tutorial and you'll go right into the combat. Because if I don't get the combat right, it's a VR game.
So if like get that out there.
Yeah, exactly. If I don't get the combat right, there's no point in me making the rest of the game. So I'm probably going to spend a solid year. That includes the 7 months I've already been on it, building out the combat and make sure that's right. So the goal is to get a prototype out to people by the end of October. People who have played JRPGs and also play VR, that I can trust to kind of give me a fair evaluation of how it feels for each of those. Because I made JRPG compromises that a flat game would never do because the game's in VR. I made VR compromises that most VR games wouldn't do because it's JRPG. So I'm trying to find that balance of making sure that it works for both sides of it without feeling like it's sacrilege to either or.
It makes sense.
And there's a couple of decisions I made. Like, for instance, you can't dodge attacks. You have to block. That's going to piss some people off, but there's reasons for that. Because in Arcaster, you can move out the way. But, I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. I wanted the game to be playable sitting. You can't do that if you have to dodge attacks.
Facts.
That's not Arcaster cannot be played sitting. And I think that's one of its weaknesses, is that it's a very physical game, so there's only so much tolerance you have for it. So yeah, just going through different iterations and different ideas and trying different things. And it's been so much fun to like write something. Oh my God, it works. Okay, it works, but it doesn't work. Like it works from a technical standpoint, but it doesn't work in terms of like the feel of the game. So, well, that's 5 hours I just wasted holding that, but that's okay. We're going to try something different. So it's been a lot of fun. And people have already told me you're crazy for not putting multiplayer in it and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, you guys eat well. You guys are you said earlier, you're very, very well fed. I'm not well fed. Let us eat too.
To start off your first game with a multiplayer game would be a challenge, I'd say.
No. Yeah. So I'm entering game jams. I'm building. I think I'm on my 9th different prototype of just other types of games. I've done these are all tech demos, like 10 to 20 minute tech demos. Yeah. Stealth games, some shooters, just to kind of get the feeling for how different mechanics work, how to do different input systems and stuff like that. It's been a really fun journey. And
look, you keep hosting episodes with me, and we'll have just an automatic devlog of these.
Like I said, next year, when I actually have visuals, because right now it's all capsules and spears and the default Unity environment. When it looks better, we'll definitely have something to show for sure.
Makes sense. Well,
so that's what
Mike, I think that does it for our part 2. And look at that. We really we made it a good long episode now here.
Yeah,
we did it.
Part 2 is always long. Part 3 is always short. So.
Exactly. Well, not this week, but that's it for part 2. See you all in part 3.
Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show.
Welcome back to part 3 of Let's Talk Oculus, episode 202. Mike, is still here. My gosh, that was a lot of games we just talked about, but we've got some new ones. Yeah, now we've got some new ones. Mike, it's been a long time, I feel, since we've even had, like, Dan and I have to do a readout, and here we are this week. We're going to be going back and forth a few times here.
It's the fall. We're about to be inundated with games.
That's facts. Crazy. Exciting times.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something because this is the first week of September. So I don't know that we've done this before. Maybe we have, but Hubris and MLB Home Run Derby are Quest Horizon Plus monthly games for September. So if you have that, you can download those. Hubris is a sci-fi action adventure game with impressive visuals and a story campaign that takes you to a beautiful but deadly alien world. It features running, jumping, climbing, swimming, and shooting mechanics built for VR. I love Hubris. Mike seems a bit indifferent on it, but yeah,
I'm not different. It's fine. I just it's one of those games that, like, yeah, it looks nice, it plays great, just haven't gotten to it yet. You know?
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like if there's a game that you start that you like, you're finishing it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did you say that?
No. You. I said that about you.
Oh, me. Okay. I was gonna say, wait. I thought you meant you in a general sense. Yeah.
No, me. Like, most of the games I like enjoyed the most don't have, like, endings, like Forefront Breachers, the Synth Riders, things like this. But everybody knows I love hopping into, like, the big games, but Lord knows I'm not finishing them. I respect them for what they are, and that is not quite for me to their fullest extent.
Yeah.
The other game, MLB Home Run Derby, is the officially licensed VR Major League Baseball game. It was released on PC VR and the original PlayStation VR all the way back in 2018 and arrived on Quest last year. Mike, have you played this one at all?
I've not. I've downloaded it today. I have not hopped into it yet.
Oh, I can't wait to hear, because I played this one a little bit. I used to be somewhat of a sports fan. My dad was really big into sports. So growing up, it was always a big part of our lives. He particularly liked baseball. So we went to a lot of baseball games. So once I got this one, I went to Fenway Park. Yes, it has all the parks, but in, like, the extent of, like, they kind of remind me of, like, NFL Blitz, like, in that, like, they're kind of shrunk, you know, they don't, you don't feel like you're in, like, a big league park, so to say. Yeah. They do, like, feel cool. They've got, you know, eclectic things that the stadium should have. And it's just like an arcade. You're, like, swinging. And I had kind of a tough time. I feel like once I got it, and I was like, okay. But it's a silly little game. You got to really like baseball, or, like, you know, it's an okay game maybe to show off VR to a baseball fan. But yeah, I guess there's maybe a reason it's here.
Right.
But yeah, that's MLB Home Run Derby. You want to take us to our first new release this week?
I was going to throw out one thing real quick. There's also a games catalog for Horizon Plus, and this kind of flies under the radar. This month, and there's like 30 games on this list. I'm scrolling through it right now. But this month they added Blacktop Hoops, which is an excellent basketball game.
That is pretty fun.
And IB Cricket, which I've never played because I'm American, so I have no familiarity with cricket. But
I feel like I've hopped in that one because there's another cricket game that I've also played. I think I like the other cricket game that I honestly, I can't remember the name. There is a big YouTube guy, though, who plays this IB cricket game, and he's got a lot of followers. He's got, like, a custom, there's, like, a whole custom cricket, I don't know what you call it, a cricket bat, I guess.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a whole other thing. Dan's into that, you know.
Yeah, let Dan talk about it next week, because I don't want to insult people who love cricket by talking about it further, but it's available on Horizon Plus if you want it. So, okay, Dragon Ridge. I asked Samson specifically to let me talk about this one because I have been tracking this game for well over a year. It comes from a developer called Garage Collective. They're actually based out of Georgia. They're based in Savannah, which is about 3 hours south of me. Previous games are Stones of Harleth, which was previously on Quest Plus, and a shooter called Shock Troopers. And they love pixel aesthetic. They love pixel art. So this is it's a 3D pixel art game. Reading the description, you are a hunter, a novice of the Mage Order, an ancestral organization tasked with policing the usage of magic, particularly during the First Kingdom's War. But now is a time of peace. The Order works as private militia, maintaining law and order both on land and at sea. You operate in the Drakenridge Archipelago, a string of islands under the authority of the Duchy of Iglemore, located on Draken Isle. They've done multiple devlogs. If you go to Garage Collective on YouTube, you can see this stuff for yourself in addition to just the trailer. It will be out by the time this podcast comes out. It'll be $20. I'll tell you right now, go to my YouTube channel, check me out on Twitch. I will be playing this game if you want to check it out and get impressions from someone who loves fantasy games. So I'm not going to automatically love this one. I don't give a game a pass because it's fantasy, but I'm very interested in this one.
You're definitely going to try it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Honestly, I love the art style and vibe of both Shock Troops, and Stones of Harlath. Gosh, that name always slips my mind. So honestly, this is probably one I pick up just to support them and I hop in just to check it out a little bit. It's not really my type of game, but
yeah,
I love it. And I love to see a studio on their third game.
Yeah.
VR still. It's great.
And they've been Quest only the whole time. I don't think either of their games. No, I'm sorry. Stones of Farlight got the PC VR release, but Shock Troops did not.
And I feel like the $15 to $20 range, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Stones of Farlight is like $10.
Yeah.
So yeah, affordable games. They're not long games, which is why they're affordable. So check them out.
They're just fair.
Check them out if you're in the mood for something different. Check them out for sure.
Awesome. And now we have Slap Fighter VR. Dan is excited for this one, but he's not here, so I'm going to do the read. Developed by Curious Games, Slap Fighter VR mixes elemental combat with dark humor. Inspired by 90s action movies, you play as John, the invincible Krasinski, who's tasked with beating the Slap Syndicate that rules a dystopian city. Guided by a new master, John must learn how to use elemental slaps focused on fire, water, earth, and lightning, and wind. I threw an extra "and" in just to throw you off. Steam and PSVR 2 versions are also planned at a later date. Slap Fighter.
I got Path of the Warrior vibes from this, just from you reading that description.
That's very true. That is very true. Dan got us access. I have yet to play. Hopefully we both can play for our next episode and give you all our vibes. I don't really want to go in with too much predetermined. So I'll leave it at that. Next one is yours, which apparently is September 5th. Why are these September 4th, September 5th? I don't know.
Yeah, good question. Really good question. Cybrid. Created by Tom Reason and published by Shada Games, Cybrid is an on-rails sci-fi action game reminiscent of Pistol Whip. I wish they had. Is this the actual meta description?
I don't know. This is from Upload.
It's from Upload.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think we get these from.
Right.
I pulled them from
I'll
the
forgive
Upload
it then.
description.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll forgive it then. Okay. One of the cardinal sins of promoting your game: don't mention other games.
Because sometimes the store page, honestly, I've heard this a lot. They try to get pictures or GIFs on there because nobody's really reading the whole thing.
There's a whole science to it.
A lot of the store pages are no longer quite as useful to read out for this purpose. Anyway, go on.
Using swords and pistols, you're tasked with clearing through enemy cyborgs across this neon lit city as you run, jump, dodge, and deflect incoming fire to the rhythm. Previously launched in early access on Steam, it's now heading to Quest. I'm a big Pistol Whip guy, even though I suck at that game. So I'm looking forward to checking this out.
This is another one Dan was into. I like the idea of it more than watching this, and I get in these types of games and I just want to play Synth Riders. That's generally what happens. But we'll see. I do love me some Pistol Whip here and there, but I don't play it enough because anytime I just want to go play a rhythm game, I really
just go back to Synth Riders. Yeah.
And if I don't want to move, I play Trombone Champ now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that Trombone Champ has gotten into your regular rotation speaks volumes for how much you like the game. So
it is very true. I do. See, I wanted to like, when I first saw Trombone Champ, it kind of went viral, and I wanted to like the flat game. I bought it on Steam, and I just cannot, like, I don't have the coordination to move the mouse up and down and to click like that. For some reason, moving my hand back and forth and clicking back and forth is easier, comes more naturally. So now I can like actually play it.
Right.
Whereas like the flat version, I couldn't even like, it wouldn't even be fun or funny. Like I was just so bad.
Just bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I appreciate that. I love the Trombone Champ plug. Anyway, moving right along. Unloop, September 5th. Developed by Into the Radius Studio CM Games, Unloop is reminiscent of We Are One in how it records your actions and stacks them together to solve immersive puzzles. Set on a well-guarded space station called the Temporal Research Hub, your job is to infiltrate and retrieve critical data related to the constant time looping that occurs on the station. A PC VR release window is unconfirmed. I hear good things about We Are One. It's a puzzle game that I have. It's slipped under my radar. I mean, not under my radar. Like I've heard of it, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Quick point of fact: CM Games actually announced, if you're on the Into the Radius mailing list, that they have now split into separate studios. So Into the Radius is now made by a studio called CM Interactive, or I think it's Interactive. Still the same. They're very much like Endreams now, where there's like the Endreams name and there's separate little smaller companies, studios under them. So like Endreams Elevation is the one they're making.
It's like a AA studio within that studio type
correct. Like that. So they can they're all split into separate teams so they can work on separate projects. So I'm saying this to say that if you're worried about Into the Radius suffering, don't worry about it. This is a separate team from the Into the Radius people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that wraps it up. Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate you having me back on. This has been fun.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you made it this far, incredible stuff. Episode 202.
It's crazy.
It's still crazy. It's still pretty crazy to me. Next week, Dan will be back. Episode 203. Thank you, Mike. I'm sure we'll see you again.
Yes, sir.
Like, I'm not even going to put a time on it, but it ought to be before episode 225 if I had to just guess. Because that's like half a year. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Peace.